Good morning, people. I wanted to make a video in which I inspire you to create something. Um, it's the beginning of 2025, and I see so many people doing all these challenges, 100 days projects, and I stepped into that so many times, feeling horrible about myself. Some people are able to do it 365 days projects. In 2020, I started this 365 days journal, and I said to myself, I'm gonna make something every day. And for the first couple of days, I did it. I made a page every day, but then after a couple of weeks, it got harder and harder. And even though in the end now there is something going on every page, it's far from being filled. I just don't work chronologically. I think I'm gonna finish this book one day, but it's going to take another 5 years maybe. So this is 5 years old now, and I still haven't finished it. I still work in it sometimes though, and I have this process that I call the raw art method, and it's a really simple method in which I add things to my pages that I just need to express at that very moment. So it's a really intuitive and easy, simple process. I write words, I use lyrics from songs that I'm listening to at that very moment. I add blotches, I add spatters. Occasionally, I add some doodles, and then when I'm more in the mood and inspired to art journal, I can just simply turn the pages of my books and then feel inspired by something that's already there. And in the end, I get these really beautiful pages with lots of details and raw expressive things going on. But it's not like built in one sitting. I build those pages layer by layer, just randomly. That is my art journal process. Of course, I have sketchbooks and books where I just more deliberately create something, because I also love to create more beautiful things. But this is a method that I use really for raw self-expression, to express what's there, make it visual for myself. And over time, I can really see personal growth. I really know what I felt when I made the pages. So this is more exploring my inner world. So I quickly wanted to show you how I start something like that for the new year, especially for people who also feel like they have to make something pretty, they have to do those projects, or be people who are also hard on themselves. They feel like I want to be a creative person, and they throw themselves at large projects and then feel like they fail. So maybe this could be an idea for you to just start a journal where you do not have to do anything, that you can work in for 5 years, 10 years maybe before you finish it, and that it doesn't matter, that it's really okay. I think that the forgiveness of an art journal is really important. That is an art journal is supposed to be like your best friend. Uh, an art journal is just like someone who listens patiently all the time, doesn't have any judgment. I will always be there for you, even if he or she didn't hear from you in 5 years. Your art journal is still there for you. So yeah, this is really, you saw me do it. This is how I like attack a page. Sometimes it's with words, sometimes it's with blotches, and one of my go-to techniques is that I just randomly somewhere add a few drips on my page like this. I have these nice refillable bottles with tiny tip, so I can really add just a bit of paint. And I have this plastic cards, like old gift cards, credit cards, you know, all the plastic cards that you often get, and then you just scrape the paint over the page. It's really that simple. And if you add that layer by layer, it's already dry as well because it's so thin. But I add layer after layer, and then you have these beautiful backgrounds to work on later. Especially when there is already some text or a little bit of texture on it, the layers really start working. Yeah, so that is an idea maybe for you to do as well. Maybe you ask yourself what kind of paint I'm using here. Well, actually, I'll probably make another video about this, because I have these special mixtures that I make myself with white gesso and tiny bits of paint. I have recipes for these telling me which colors are in it. They're often the same kind of mixtures, and I really love these soft clay colors. They work really well with my color palette, but of course you can make your own mixtures. Because there is white gesso and some paint in it, you see that they're not 100% opaque. But that is what I really like, because then you get these textures, because you get these layers that aren't that opaque, and you still see the texts underneath. And I love to always show something of the layers underneath what I'm adding, because that is, it all adds up to the end result. Just like in life, everything you do, every step you take, it always adds something. Yeah, I love that kind of symbolism, and I always think that through for myself when I'm art journaling, that it's all with a certain intention or something, but keeping it really light and easy for myself. So the thing is, with being raw, you think that it's hard or really like super emotional and heavy, but actually being raw is really being in the moment and being really gentle on what is there, and just let it out, and be playful in that moment, and really just go for it. Just make a mess, and with that mess eventually you will make beautiful things. So that's just a thought for the new year for you, especially for those who feel like they should do things and maybe feel like a failure already. I've had that in the past few years myself, that I wanted to do things, intended to do things, but like already on 3 or 4th of January, I felt like a failure because I didn't do what I intended to do, or I had this 100-day project and already failed on the third day. And for some people, it's really easy to just be gentle with themselves and then step back on that train. But for me, I was a person for myself who was really being hard on myself and feeling like such a failure. Didn't help me at all. So that is one of those things I want to help people with, to be kind, be messy, and embrace the mess and do things like this. So my 2 cents for today, and I wish you a really good messy day. Maybe create something. Thank you for watching. Ciao.